Good morning, boys and girls. Ms. Fogelman here to read to you your vocabulary story. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this story is called The Fox and the Grapes. It is an Aesop fable. On a hot summer afternoon, a fox became quite hungry and thirsty. Eagerly, he began to search for his next meal. He looked up and spotted a vine of grapes hanging from a tall tree. As he stared at the juicy fruit, his mouth watered. These grapes were not the common, small, green grapes he usually found. Each one was as big as a red plum. Ah, he said, red grapes, I truly prefer the red grapes to the green ones. The green grapes are so much sweeter. He stood up on his back legs and sniffed the grapes. Then he tried to pull them down. Unfortunately, that didn't work. The fox scratched his head and wondered what he should do next. Climbing the tree was out of the question. Still, the grapes were too high to allow him to reach them. He would have to use his strong legs to leap up and snatch a bunch. He walked back several yards and then ran toward the grapes. He pumped his legs and jumped up with all the force he could gather. But he missed the vine. Instead, he tumbled into a nearby mud puddle. Now the fox was hungrier than ever. His stomach rumbled like a freight train. He said, I must try again. He walked back 20 yards this time. Then he ran faster toward his goal, the bunch of ripe, juicy grapes. Alas, his second try was no better than his first. He hit his head on the firm ground and then rolled head over heels. He sat on a tree stump and rubbed his head. Hitting the ground like that had given him a horrible headache. This particular fox had never been a patient creature, and now his hunger was making him anxious and grumpy. He had to get those grapes. The fox stood up once more and his legs were unsteady. He wobbled backward and felt a little faint. He sat on the ground until he felt stronger. Finally, there was only a trace of a headache left. He walked back 50 yards this time. Then he ran full speed ahead. He jumped up, but he missed the grapes and fell into a patch of thorny bushes. Ouch, the fox yelled. He pulled himself out of the patch. Twigs with thorns tore at his fur, and he howled with each step he took. Then he shook his fist at the grapes. He yelled, what a dumb bunch of grapes. Let someone else eat you. I bet you're bitter anyway. And with that, he walked away in a huff. The moral or lesson of this story is that it is easier to pretend you do not want what you cannot get. So at the end, the fox pretended like he didn't want them anyway. He said they would probably be bitter. So that was to try to get him to not want the grapes after all. All right, so today I am going to be putting in a list of definitions of the words that are highlighted in this story. And I want you to go through the definitions, take a look at the part of speech, and what the definition is, the synonyms and antonyms. And then I am going to put an assignment for synonyms and antonyms in your Shobi account. All right, now, when you get the assignment, you can just circle the answers because it's an A, B, C choices. You do not have to write the words on the lines to the right. Again, the answer choices are labeled A, B, and C. Just go ahead and circle one of those. You do not have to write the word on the line. All right, have a good day.